Rai assassini e a boden de maye mojana nanum shegu edigu on maye edrumini wonso so say be piatwa so million traso kutu krani lempe seminkule ediyembe mundama maya sasi honto ato se so my
pour mon pays de Ghana. One love pour nos mamans Africa. Kumasi, Osei, Grum, Charlie. J'y vais depuis que je suis môme, c'est Waté. Oh, et you m'n'était à bas. Et c'est même pas du Azonto, c'est ça. Mon passeport est français, Charlie. Mais je sais d'où je viens. Je suis fier de mon pays, fier de mon Ghana, fier de mon ethnie, fier d'être Ashanti, fier de mes sœurs, fier de mes frères. On avance tous ensemble, Charlie One Love, prêt pour la victoire, Charlie Black Star. Au Ghana toujours le sourire, on vit comme ça. Chez toi c'est comment, chez nous c'est l'amusement. Dans la musique capou fait tout le monde est content.
Say kana manu beye and I'm minu yenu suo o manu betu pona and I'm minu yenu suo a doctor for kumaye soldier for o manu betu pona and I'm minu yenu suo a doctor for kumaye soldier for o manu betu pona and I'm minu yenu suo.
Together as one, that's all we need, man. Cause the world riding by someone who I am. I'm so proud, so in love with my motherland. If I were done, I see a strong with your man. You're more being French, we so be Jenny J. I'm more dear, you my thing, you be so much to tell me Freddy. But I can't Nkrumah, so what you be fear, never show you my peace.
Ghana boy, I mana kama kuma. About why you do no diddy, no basa basa. Yeni will be a nyasam, no even Osama. Iti yakambom na yanto, Osana. Shout hallelujah, oh mother Ghana. Bida was Adam, and then they Hawa. Hey, and Pokasa meti say a bop. God bless our home like Ghana. Now what's your biagunyo? Once more, Ghana my obey. God bless our home like Ghana. Now what's your biagunyo? Once more, Ghana my yempijansi home.
Yana mami nyoche yakuma. Rome was not built in a day yo. Unya but 3 jantatia. Me so say unu nakuma. Yana mami nyoche yakuma. Rome was not built in a day. Unya but 3 jantatia. Me so say unu nakuma. Kakra akuko benumsio. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Ghana Maria getting there. The enemy yeah temporal. But no condition is permanent. Oh my young it's too late. Oh my young shots and celebrate. Oh, jubilation. No condition is permanent. Oh my young it's too late. Oh my young shots and celebrate. Oh, jubilation.
Thank you all for appearing, and we hope to have a wonderful academic year. Thank you.
It's so unfortunate that this setting is happening virtual. There is no one plan, but COVID-19 is an unexpected thing that happened. So we just have to live with it. So you please all members who are joining via the virtual space to participate in whatever thing that we are going to do here. You can send your question online and follow everything that we are doing here. It's good to be back once again, and thank you all for joining. Thank you.
Once again, let me also use this opportunity to welcome all of us back to the house. And once again, this is the first sitting of the first session of the 11th Parliament. Without much ado, we move straight to the agenda. And today we have 3 items on the agenda. The first has to do with an address by the president of our Noble Association, the induction of new parliamentarians, and then the report by the Constitutional and Legal Committee on the amendment of our Constitution. So we will go straight to the first item on the agenda. All right. Since the two caucuses have agreed, we will start with the induction. So, honorable new parliamentarian, kindly come forward. Honorable members, this year we sold over 55 forms. Some of the nominees refused to bring the form after filling it. Some too brought the forms, but then they didn't avail themselves for the vetting. So all in all, we vetted and approved 38 new parliamentarians. But as you all know, 4 are here to serve as a representation of the rest who have joined by the virtual space. Without much ado, I will read the oath. Honorable new members, you repeat after me. I, having been elected as a member of POSSA Parliament, do, in the name of the Almighty God, swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the standing orders of POSSA Parliament as by law established, and I will uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of POSSA Parliament and that I will uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of POSSA Parliament,
and defend the Constitution of
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and conscientiously discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable members, we are done with the induction, and then you may resume your seat. You will receive short address from the two caucus leaders concerning the induction.
It is a very great pleasure to be among, to witness your induction as a new parliamentarian. Welcome to this honorable house, the best parliament ever on KNUST campus. Even a KNUST SRC is no near us. Welcome, welcome home.
Right, Mr. Speaker, I think it's a good thing for us to have new parliamentarian, since as people goes and come, this is a continual process that we have. It's a process. Some will go and some will come. So I think today is a good thing that the new members are joining us for us to be part of this parliament to ensure the betterment of our association. So I think it's a good thing for us for they to join us, and we hope they have a fruitful stay here, and we are looking forward for them to join. Most of them to join. In fact, the fortunate caucus, of course. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, leaders. I will give the opportunity to one of the new recruits to address the house. Any of you? Honorable Deborah J. Thank you, honorable member. And once again, I also welcome all of you, those who have joined via the virtual space and those who are here. I want to welcome all of you back to the house and welcome back. So we will proceed to the next item on the agenda. That will be the State of the Association address by the president of our association. So without much ado, I will invite His Excellency Daniel Yeboah to give us his address.
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon it's an honor coming back to the house since I left in second year. And I'm seeing different faces. It's nice. Once again, I want to wish all of us a happy new year, since it's our first meeting we are having in the semester. This afternoon, my mandate here is simple: and I'm here to address the House on the affairs of the association. Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speakers, Honorable Majority Leader and his deputy, Honorable Minority Leader and his deputy, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great honor this afternoon to be before this august House to deliver the State of the Association address as mandated by the Constitution in Chapter 5, Article 17, on the progress of our association through the tenure of our predecessors and what we intend doing as newly elected executives. Mr. Speaker, as we are all aware, Ghana and most nations in the world were hit by the coronavirus pandemic, which brought all activities of last semester to a halt, including academic work. Our academic work for the rest of the semester had to be moved online, which caused some problems. Mr. Speaker, our predecessors began a lot of projects which was not fully completed, such as the issuing of certificates and citations to executives, our regular POSSA dinner and handing over, and a few others. Myself and my able vice spoke with Mr. Johnson Baidu, our immediate past president. Thus, we have decided to continue with the issuing of certificates to executives. Mr. Speaker, these are a few programs our predecessors completed. The POSSA Cup, the POSSA Talk Show, and the Women Entrepreneurship Training, and a few others. Mr. Speaker, on the 21st of January, 2021, our department organized the first year's orientation. Present at the meeting was our HOD, Dr. Samoju Jemfi, and our patron, Dr. Edwin, and some few other new lecturers, which I did not capture their names here. Mr. Speaker, in the area of exams, which is of utmost importance to we all, before the second semester results for last academic year were released, a supplementary timetable was issued out, and I had a chance to go through. It gave me a full idea of a number of students who had trails in both the first and second semester exams, while we were waiting for the results to be released. Mr. Speaker, to my surprise, I realized a large number of first years trailed an introductory course, which calls for an immediate action to be taken by both executives and our honorable members of parliament. This task is not to be left only to the executive body, but rather we all need to work hand in hand to help. Mr. Speaker, as the Constitution gives me the mandate to appoint people who could serve the department, with the help of my able executives, we were able to conclude the appointments. The names of the various appointees were submitted to Parliament for vetting to begin. The final approval list was sent to me on the 21st of December last year, with the approval of 23 members whom I submitted their names. And with that, I thank the House for giving me the nod to work with them. Moving on to the next agenda, which is our finances. We were left with 18,438.31 Ghana cedis by our previous administration. Because most of the events organized in the previous administration was pre-financed, and due to the COVID break, some outstanding payments were not done. These are the outstanding debts which we as executives are to settle. The POSSA Cup, the POSSA Games, and the seminar, which amounted to the tune of 3,126 Ghana cedi, 5 pesos. Certificates and citations for previous executives, which also amounted to 1,771.6 Ghana cedis. The department successfully organized a joint orientation program at the beginning of the semester with the history department on the advice of the HOD. We as a department incurred a cost of 605 Ghana cedis. And let's be mindful, our HOD is bound on unity. And so most of our programs are done in collaboration with the history department. So that is why we did the orientation together. And there are some few other programs that are done together. We are also in the process of registering the department on the Zoom app, which is to be done by the history department at a cost of 1,545 Ghana cedis. With the Zoom app, the normal app we have on our phone is able to capture only 100 to 150 students. So when we are paying this amount, it's allowing us to have participants over 500 to 1,000 students at a time. That is to aid the lecturers to have their classes online. And so let me go back again. We also in the process of registering the departments on the Zoom app, which is to be done by the history department at a cost of 1,545 Ghana cedis, which will be shared between the two departments. Lastly, the procurement and branding of POSSA-KNUST masks for all major students in our department, we incurred a cost of 7,000 Ghana cedis. This agenda is in process. We intended doing it for a student pair. We were having two, but the cost of the two wouldn't have helped us because we would have rather been running into deficits in the account. So we rather settled for one per student, which is totaling 7,000 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, due to the social distancing protocols, most of our activities had to be reorganized. These are some few activities we intend doing. The organization of a free SPSS class for third and final year students, an online seminar with our lecturers, themed A Time with Our Lecturers, and the initiative of the procurement and branded POSSA-KNUST marks for our students. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, to conclude, this semester is packed with activities and academic work. We hope to accomplish all these activities with the help of our August House. We are counting on your cooperation and support. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the House, thank the POSSA President for availing himself to give his address to the House. We will receive questions, recommendations, and any other from the two caucuses, starting with the majority.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Richard. Mr. President, thank you for your presentation. And it is your first time appearing to the House. It's not bad. But my concern is about the financial aspect. To me, the aspect of the financial presentation is poorly done. You only presented figures, but the detail of it is not here. So if you say you want to use 7,000 Ghana cedis to prepare nose marks for students in the department, we should know what goes on in that particular branding. And also, I don't know the number of students in the department that you are going to spend a huge amount of 7,000 Ghana cedis to prepare nose marks for us. And I don't know whether it has been signed or approved. To me, I would suggest different project than the nose marks. Because if you brand this nose mask, the likelihood of all the students coming for the nose mask is not possible. Some students will not even get it. So I think it will be beneficial to reconsider your decision. And all right, I think I'll end here. If there is anything, we'll get back to you.
The President will respond to Honorable Moses' question before a new question is asked.
Honorable Moses, I get you, but the details of all this will be brought back by the financial minister. But to what I know, you asked for the total number of students in the department. From the data we got from the exam officer, we had 1,180 students in the department who had registered. But we don't know those who are aside who have not registered, because we are all aware that there are some students who have not registered. So, per one nose mask, with the branding, we're given at 5 cedis. So that is the breakdown. But the proper breakdown we brought here by the financial minister, which is our finance person, Emmanuel. So I think, and you talked about another project. You should not leave it vague. Mr. Honorable Moses, I need a proper, I don't know how to put this. Give me a project which, because my speech was an inclusive speech, which I needed you all to help me with. So if you are seeing another project, because now the university is rather limiting us to not having physical meetings as we are having here. So we need to find ways to do projects that will benefit our students.
Thank you, Mr. President. But before I will answer the question, what is the idea of branding the nose marks at a cost of 5 cedis? Because students have no complaint of not being able to afford nose marks. And I don't know the number of times we can use that nose mask within the year at a branding of 5 cedis, because nose mask is 1 Ghana cedi. So if you are branding a one nose mask for 5 cedis, how many days are we going to use it? And will it meet the demands of the people? Have we, the students or the members of the association, complain of not having nose masks? That's what I would like you to address before I will initiate any project that you can embark on it, because to some extent, printing nose masks or branding nose masks for students may not yield anything beneficial.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I'll please, Mr. President, His Excellency the President is here to deliver a message to Parliament. The details of it should be the work of the Finance Minister. And so these questions, I think it is inappropriate for us to put the question to Mr. President to answer, because it relates to finance. And it falls within the jurisdiction of the Financial Secretary. So I think it is inappropriate for him to answer.
Thank you, Honorable Eji. I think the Financial Minister is working with the President. So in as much as the President has come and his Financial Minister is not here, it means that everything has presented to him. So we cannot wait for the Financial Minister to come before we question the President. If he is not the Financial Minister, then why should he include finances in his statement? And one thing is that because we have limited time, we cannot invite everybody. And you can see that the only person who is here is the President. So everything is in his hands. And every organization or anything the Financial Minister initiates should be approved by the President. So whatever is going on, the President is aware. We cannot wait for the Financial Secretary to come before we address certain issues. We have very limited time.
Mr. Speaker of the House, thank you. I think Honorable Ejay from the minority side, it's a bit confused. We called Mr. President, the president of the largest departments, the president of the notable departments in a faculty, to come and then deliver a speech, an overview of his plans, an overview of what he intends to do for the department. He's stating nose marks and then the amount of nose marks and then the amount that is going to cost. Raise the question from my majority member, not to give detailed explanation or not to give detailed expenses on the nose marks, but then he was suggesting to him, why shouldn't he forget about the nose marks, and then he give him another implementation to do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, the House.
I will take the last view of Honorable AJ.
Mr. Speaker, it is apparent that the finance minister work hand in hand with the president. Mr. Speaker, the states of the association address is simply the states the association was when he inherited, how it is today, and where he's taking us to, which includes Mr. Speaker. In fact, he's been unfair because I'm still delivering.
Honorable Ususapon, kindly keep mute.
So, Mr. President has all the constitutional rights to identify or state the amount of money we have in our coffers, the amount spent, but he is not privy to the details now. We have been in this house when we have the financial secretary giving us different explanation to projects, whilst the president is also giving us different explanation to projects. And therefore, let's leave that to the jurisdiction of the finance minister. Mr. Speaker, if you realize, Honorable Owusu Sapon, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Owusu Sapon is always attacking personalities and caucuses. I don't know why.
Order.
I don't know why. Telling
Order
me I'm confused. Meanwhile, with his delivery, you can see obviously that he's confused. He's confused.
Order. Kindly have your seats. The finance minister will be here, or he will meet leadership to discuss the various items in relation to the president's address that has to do with finances. So we will proceed with the other questions from the minority.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. President, thank you for being here. I think you are doing the greater things we have to
You raised an issue with the mentorship program. It's supposed to be captured in my speech, but realizing that after forwarding the speech to the House, it was not captured. But it was supposed to be in the speech because we are still executing it. And this, I think that was either today or yesterday, I contacted the first year class rep because I had complaints from the mentees, or the mentors, that the first years are not contacting them concerning who they are mentoring and the other staff. So I tasked class rep to do this on my behalf. But even though the academic board chairman is also working to educate the people, the students, rather, on the need to contact their mentors for help. Now, for the trail courses, that is, it's all, let's say, it's all balls under the mentorship program, because we needing to try and help reduce the number of people who trail. That is why we started issuing this mentorship program earlier this semester. And what we have done about it, because still people are still having trails in the semester. I sought the speaker's view. Then he helped us with the first years, who are now in second year, with helping them write the papers, trying educating them. We have been to their class about 3 times this semester, educating them on the need to take their book serious, and they having an objective on campus, not only to be in class, but to pass their exam. So that's what we are doing, and that's what we have done so far. This is a two-way affair. It is either the mentor calling the mentee or the mentee calling the mentor. But on a normal fact, to say the truth, the mentee is the one supposed to call the mentor. Because the mentee might be in second year, third year, or final year. But you, the mentor, in the first year, you need the help. But you are supposed to call the mentor. But it's supposed to be both sides. The mentor calling the mentee calling the mentor. But I've heard some people calling, the mentors calling the mentees, and some have responded. But me standing here per se, my mentor has not contacted me. I don't know why. And, sorry, my mentee, I don't know why they have not contacted me yet. And others have also complained that DS have not contacted them. That's why we are still on this issue of mentorship program, educating them on the need to do this. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I am Prince Eli Domonyo. To Mr. President, thank you for the address. But I have something that I want to say. And I do not want to believe that Mr. Speaker is here with a speech that do not cover some crucial aspects of the association, which I don't think I'll have to accept that apology. Once he has been given the opportunity to come here and speak, I believe all aspects that we need to hear as far as the association is concerned must be included in the speech. For that matter, I personally do not accept his apology. To proceed with my question, I would like to ask him to give us the specific or the main reason why the first year student trailed the introduction courses in politics. I think that is so. And then the mentees and the mentor issue, I want to suggest that I don't think a mentor will be giving more than 20 mentees, which is very good for the mentor in that case to contact them, because we have variety of mediums through which a mentor can contact the mentee. If not only spending his credit, he can use WhatsApp and other means to contact the mentee, because first years there's that notion that we don't know our left and right. So I may be given a mentor all right, but the means through which I may not even know the hostel that that particular mentor is. So for us to be responsible, I would suggest that mentors should find a way to contact their mentees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Please, your first question was?
My first question was for you to give us the main reason why students fail the introductory courses. Thank you.
The main reason why students fail, they normally underestimate the course. Normally, we have more trails in the university compulsory courses, which is the CSM, ComSkill, and statistics, right? Because these, they normally, once upon a time, I heard a student saying that, why are you learning paragraphs and punctuations? But these are courses or these are things that you need to know to pass the exam. Normally, they don't fail the politics courses because the lecturers are normally lenient with them because they are in first year. The university courses are done by every department on this campus. So no lecturer knows you to give you a pardon. So they feel if they don't know you, you are failed or you are trailed. And with the concerning of the mentorship program, the mentees contacting the mentor. With this, you said that the mentee does not know the hostel of the mentor. It is an agreement. You contact the person, you set a day, a time, whether the person will want to meet you in his hostel or on campus. That is why when the lady asked me, I said it's a two-way affair. You see, on campus, if you are willing to learn, you move to what you want to do. The person on another side has crossed that stage, and he may be reluctant to come. But that's not the idea. We are all wanting that everybody will contact each other, but normally the mentee is supposed to call the mentor to help the mentee himself or herself to better his grades. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think moving forward, the nose mask question that Honorable Moses asked, I couldn't get the question, I couldn't get the answer clear from Mr. President. I wanted to know, are the nose masks ready? Are they ready? I think Honorable Moses asked such a question, but I couldn't hear the response. And moving forward to this so that I can hear. On the state of the affair, finances, of our society, the debt that you have incurred. I think the money that you came to make, the money that you came, that was 18,438.31, and I was calculating all the expenses that was captured in the address, with the debt that you are supposed to service, with our punchy cap and the seminar, the certificate that you are supposed to get to the old members, the nose mask that you are prepared, you are working on it right now, and all that you made mention. After calculating everything, and the Zoom app that we have to be registered on. After calculating everything, because the Zoom app, I realized that it's 1,545. If you divide between us and students, you pay 72.50 pesos. Yes, so I calculated this all, and the money that I was getting was 13,275.15. And I subtracted this money from the money that you came to me, and I was getting somewhere 5,502 on the money that you have now. If all other things concerned, you are supposed to go on with everything that you are doing. But I wanted to ask, if this money was left, if this money was left last semester, and we couldn't do our dinner, we couldn't do so many things, then I think the dinner money too is some money that we are supposed to use it for so many other things. But moving on that, what I want to know is that this semester, what are the money that you are supposed to, this academic year, what are the money we are anticipating to get so that we can other additional
Honorable Oliver, yeah, with your question, what are we anticipating getting this semester? every year, let's do the breakdown of the percentages. College gets 14% of the school fees. Faculty gets 30% of the school fees. And all the department gets 54% of the school fees. And with that, okay.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I think where Mr. President is taking us to is far. He should just answer a direct question than schooling us. We will beg him. We are pleading. What we are to get.
What to get. That is what I was giving the breakdown so you understand. Specifically, the university has not disbursed this semester's finance to us. The 18,000 was from last year, or last academic year. That is where we went to meet the dean of students. That was last week. And this was the breakdown that was concluded. That was how I'm trying to give you the breakdown so that you're all aware. So we have college people here. That is a student paying 29.7 Ghana cedis. So, mathematicians, in doing this, 29, Honorable Oliver, would I engage your indulgence to do this calculation for us? All right, thank you very much. 7.
And earlier on, you stated that our number for registered
members. 1,000, sorry. 180.
Yes. So calculating this.
Yes.
Calculating this. I think if every student is receiving 29,000 point, like spending,
yeah.
we are supposed to receive, right?
Yeah,
like
we are receiving. Yeah, it's paying to the
if
department.
Every student is paying 29 cedis, 0.70 pesos, and we are the registered members that we have is 1,180. The calculated amount will be like 35,046. That's the money that we are.
35,046.
Yes.
Have you done the percentage wise? Because be mindful that every semester we are supposed to leave 25% of the leftover finance. We're not supposed to spend every money in the coffers. We leave 25% of the leftover finance in the department.
Let me come back again, Mr. Speaker. We are not privy to those information. That is why I asked earlier that per his own calculation. So we are not privy to those informations. That is why I asked earlier that per his own calculation, what is the money we are to receive this semester, so that he should go directly to answering the question than giving us the breakdown, because there are things we may leave left out.
I would not want to do that because it might be that I am giving you figures. That is why I'm giving the figures so that our honorable member here. So now it is 29.7 Ghana cedis. Then you do the percentage wise. This is the 54 is the percentage for the department. So if anybody here has been able to do that, please let's hear you, because.
Sorry, Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, I actually wanted to ask, and then before you, whether an honorable member through the Zoom. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, the House. Mr. President, sorry to interrupt, but then, Mr. Speaker, I actually wanted to ask and then give opportunity for the honorable members of the House who joined through Zoom, if any question is supposed to be asked, kindly alert us so that they they bring on board their question. Thank you.
All right, Honorable Menka, if anyone is ready, you can alert us. Mr. President, kindly give us the amount we are supposed to get. Later on, we will do our calculation. If it conflicts with what you are giving us, we will come back to you.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have that calculated amount on my document or in my document, so I think that would be fine for me to leave it to the House to do it. But I'm sure I'll get a calculated amount. Then which relates to the speaker, then the House receives it. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Speaker, then I think his finance minister should come with the calculated figure when he's appearing before this House.
We will invite the finance minister in the next sitting. We will take the last two addresses from Honorable Obin and then Tienuka.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just addressing issues, so but I haven't tackled my own question.
Mr. Speaker of the House, Mr. President, thank you for coming once again. With your speech, we've heard so many things about academics and then finances. And I would like you to touch on the welfare of the students, because so far we've not heard anything about the welfare apart from academics. So I want to know, in terms of their stomachs, have you done anything to them or for them? Thank you.
In terms of welfare, I think if we are all aware, during Council's time, the former President Council for the department, he scrubbed off the POSSA welfare, which we were giving the students some amount of money, like 200 Ghana cedis. Then he added that money to the POSSA dinner money. Then what we are, for now, our finances are not up to that standard to help a student now. But what we do is, we rather, if a student comes with a complaint as such, we talk with the faculty president, and even go as far as talking to the college president, then we liaise the person to that side for that assistance. Our work office is not that buoyant to help our members. Thank you.
Follow-up question. You just said if a student comes up with any issue at all.
Yep.
So in this case, has there been any release of communique on the pages that if a student needs any help, has there been any kind of communique to address such issue? Because I've not seen anything like that. Thank you.
There hasn't, but so far we've had 3 students contacting us concerning financial problems. Then we've done our best to liaise with the appropriate authorities to help them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I think the question I wanted to ask have been addressed by Honorable Obi. So.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker of the House, he made a statement, Mr. President made a statement that it is, the POSSA mentorship program is two-sided program, which the mentor has to or might contact the mentee, or the mentee must contact the mentor. But in this case, it's only the contacts of the mentors that has been provided, and not and not the mentees. So how can we, the mentors, contact our mentee? That is one. My second question is, why should we wait until students trail before we do things to, for them to rewrite their exams? What we can do to help them pass their trail papers can also be initiated for them to pass their exams without even having a trail. So I think they have to reconsider that, and it would be imperative for us to invite the education minister in our next sitting for him to address the House, for us to know her way forward, so that we will know what to do to avoid all these problems. Thank you.
The President will respond.
With the contact of only the mentors?
Yeah, the mentors.
Okay. Which means, this is to clarify this, in which means that the mentees are supposed to rather contact the mentors, right? That is why, to this, let me leave it to the academic board. And for the second question, why we should rather wait for students to trail before we do such an activity to help them not to trail again. Yeah, with this, we liaised with the TS. I personally did that. The academic board was with the TS to help the student, because this year's first years, getting a total number was, they are running about 2,000 students at a sitting in the whole land, over 2,000. And the TAs were the most privileged people to help their students to rather avoid trails. Great. So in our stead, I did contact the TAs, and I told them to help. And we have one person who is helping the first years, which is our member, Mr. Peter Dewa. He's also doing a good job, which is nobody is rather has taxed him. But we are in an association. We all need to help our members in and out the association. So I think that one is recommended. And with this, the TAs are taking a hand in this activity. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, upon Addison, my dear honorable member initially asked the question on how the first years trade the introduction courses. And you, Mr. President, gave an answer by saying that it was an estimate made by the student, but it's not the only cause. It's the uncomfortable situation we face when we attend lectures. Like the students are too many, about 1,000 plus, and you need to stand. And when you're uncomfortable, I don't think you can listen to what the lecturer is saying because you don't feel comfortable about it. And this is where you, the president, and your executive must collaborate with the department executives so that you can do something about it. Thank you.
With our honorable members' concern, to say the truth, this goes beyond the department. But what we did was to help change the location of the class. I think your class for 155 was done at the but now it has been moved to, I think, the KSB side, the KSB, right? Okay. Because this goes beyond the department, as I said earlier. It's at the university level. And most students are applying into our faculty, into our department. Some are choosing political science. I bet you that next year, Goblin, we're going to have about 3,000 plus students reading the same course, and they'll also be held. So whatever you do, it is only up to the lecturer and the department president to find a location that can occupy or house all of them at a sitting. So I remember, for this, it goes beyond me. And what we're able to do is find a new location for you to have a class. Thank you.
Without any question, we will thank the President of the Association, His Excellency Daniel Yeboah. Do you have any submission?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker of the House. Mr. President, to be very honest, your address did not really capture so many initiatives. Yeah, as it stands now, we've not been able to realize or we've not been able to notice what your plans are for the department. So, Mr. President, I would like you to kindly work on your initiatives very well. And also with the true aspect of students. You know, we are the largest and then we are the laudable department ever in KNUST, one of the most noticeable departments when it comes to politics. And it's very, very shameful for we to have so many trails in a department. Some time ago, I used to hear politics, quote and unquote, politics for the Omabon. It's not supposed to be so. Address. Courses to organize effective, at least twice a week, effective tutorials. Mr. President, this is my humble suggestions. Thank you.
Honorable Owusu, you talked about me not stating clear our achievements, our vision for the department. I did. in my chapter 10 of my speech, which you are privy to have, I mentioned that we are organizing a free SPSS class for the third and final year student. This for these two levels. Then the one that goes beyond that one was then we have a time to our lecturers. That is to help because I once upon a time went to the class of the first years. The one person asked me that, what do he or she do after school? And I was like so surprised that somebody said he was forced to do the course. So with this time to our lecturers, we have lecturers who have done courses and who have gone outside to read their courses. So they are rather going to educate us on the need to read politics. Those of us living, when we leave, what we are going to do. So these are the but let's be mindful that these are tentative. It depends because we were because of the COVID protocol, so we are not able to do so many activities. So we are able to limit ourselves just these, I think, major two activities apart from the nose masks and other items. But God willing, if we pray that the vaccine becomes effective and we are opening up for other programs, there'll be other programs like the dinner, the games, and I think the aerobics. Yeah, I think that will happen if the vaccine is effective and is able to curb the numbers of the increase the virus. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I think we will thank the president for this address. And as said, you all know that COVID-19 has been a thing, our neck that it is actually preventing us from doing so many things. But I think as a department, we should go beyond the normal and find ways of doing things. Or if we say COVID, and next semester we come to campus and it's the same situation, I think the impact that the department is supposed to sow into the lives of students will not be actualized because I know from Williams Kwanzaa's administration, those days there wasn't COVID anything, but they were able to procure so many books to the library. So if COVID is at stake, there are so many things that as a department we can look upon to. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Oliver. Yeah, I get you. We can't use COVID as an excuse, even though I thought of what you told me. I contacted Kwanzaa myself personally. But noticing something here that we are moving virtual. So virtual means how many students go to the department library, sorry, faculty library to take books and read? They only go there to their own personal. I had an initiative of also buying books to the shelves of the faculty department. But on advice of our patron and Abbas and other, I'm told to do online library. That will benefit the entire department. So we are seeing the procurement of this agenda, and in the right course, by next semester, I'll come back with the proper address. Thank you.
Order. 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 Honorable Wilson.
All right, Mr. Speaker, the procurement of the library book was just a suggestion that I'm giving. I'm saying that if you are saying COVID, I mean next semester will come and nothing has been done as a department. So I was just using it as an illustrative something for us to do, not something that we should follow it strictly. But you made mention of a Zoom app in your address. I think if that thing is done, it will help us in doing so many activities. Thank you.
Sorry to breach the orders. Yes, but I could remember during Jefferson's time, we procured a website trying
I think Mr. President will liaise with the leaders of parliament to consider your submission. Mr. President, thank you very much for availing yourself to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for welcoming him in. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, the president of the association has given his address, and he has also answered questions and submissions that were raised by honorable members. We will now move on to the last item on the agenda. That is the report by the Constitutional and Legal Committee on the amendment of our Constitution. We will invite Honorable Victor Ekwesieje. Before he starts, when he's done, we will take only 4 submissions, 2 from the various caucuses. So kindly put your questions and everything together so that 2 people will ask.
As Order 19, E and F of the Standing Orders of the House apparently states, the committee shall have general responsibilities concerning the Constitution, matters not specifically within the functions of the committee. The committee shall consider and report to Parliament of any proposed law and any constitutional matters referred to it by Parliament. Before there is any opportunity for debate on the proposed law or matters as directed by Parliament. Also, Article 12, Clause 5 of the POSSA Constitution states, Parliament shall come up with new laws or amendments to the Constitution